Team, this is Robert Porter, Hippie with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAMBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. We will talk politics, culture, and history. We miss you, Biani. Where are you hiding now today? Well, he's out there doing his photography club in Redlands, and I'm sure he's enjoying it because he really likes doing his photography. And you know what? I think that's awesome to have a cool hobby like that you can actually do. So we miss him today, but he will be back next week. Eric, how do you find out more about KCAA and how to listen and your show?
You can find out about all the KCAA programs, including Family Street Food, which just finished every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on KCAA, the app. Available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Just go ahead and type in KCAA, and you can go ahead and download that and tune in from Paris, France, or Paris, California. Oui, oui.
And Palm Trees in Progress is an awesome show, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Palm Tree in Progress presents every Tuesdays from 7 to 9 on KCAA and all streaming platforms. Number 31 in top comedy on Apple Podcasts in Nigeria. So shout out to all of the homies in Nigeria that tune in.
And there's an incredible food show just before ours, right?
Yeah, like we've previously mentioned, Family Street Food every 6 p.m. on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. Family Street Food. Shout out the homies.
Just saying that makes me hungry.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we get into our interview with mayoral candidate Ivan Garcia and second candidate Sandra Ibarra, we will mention our sponsors, Pal Academy. School and summer school. So right now they're enrolling summer school. So if you'd like to give your kids a good foundation for next year, or they need to catch up some credits or things like that, consider PAL, and you can get more information at info@palcenter.org or call 909-887-7002, 909-887-7002. And they're located over off of Blake Street in Muscoy. And just go visit.
I think last time when I was working with them through Habitat for Humanity, they also offer nursing and trades like construction classes for our youth.
Audio video. He was just, Mr. Radden called me today and asked me if I wanted to do podcast stuff over there. But I told him, hey, I'll come on as a guest. I promise.
Yeah, we were able to get some of their students to help us with some of the rehab projects we had for our senior citizens in the city.
Well, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, hey, if you can get some students making a radio show, that's when they'll take that into the next level. Right. And, they'll replace me. But they'll be doing it on TikTok for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Pal, for everything, and we do appreciate all your help. I'd also like to mention our standout of the week is Lisa Gordon, the marketing director. She handles all the marketing over at Cal State University, San Bernardino. Okay. And she also is like a social media influencer. So she has, she calls herself Lee Salsa.
Lee Salsa.
And she's just awesome. And I forget the name of your page. Like, she's changed it a couple of times. But she has a comedy page, and she posts local stuff, too. Then plus, she does all the stuff for Cal State. So I wanted to bring her on the show and, showcase what she's got. But, last time she couldn't make it because she had a surgery. So we rescheduled for today. Then, unfortunately, she has some family stuff. And we want to dedicate this show to her mama and hope that she gets better. And I will make sure that you get on, and probably after these crazy elections are over, and we can do that in June, and we'll talk about happy good stuff. But that's brought the I Love San Bernardino Standout of the Week is brought to you by Chubby's Burgers. Yes. Victor and Joe over there, man. I think I've been eating a little bit too much Chubsies lately. So if I eat a Chubsies, I've been using a keto bun. So I'll go down to Stater Brothers, grab the keto bun, And me and Mama will eat the Chubsies with the keto bun, but I do love the regular bun. Oh.
I believe they have the
Yeah.
protein one too, no?
Yeah, you
No
can,
bread,
but
just lettuce?
there's something about the bun. And then the other day, like Jason Lola from Wax Skateboards.
I miss Jason.
Yeah, he does all of Chubsy's marketing and things like that with the printing and stuff like that, and their shirts. And we were hanging out, and basically he was like, I bought these special buns for the smash burger. So he's like,
Oh.
they had sesame seeds on them.
Good.
So we tried it that way. A Chubby smash burger is good with any bun, and as a pup patty too. Like we get our pup Chubsy smash burger pup patty.
Really?
And it's just 2 patties, and like I don't dare come home without a pup patty. Let me tell you.
They smell the burger on you. They're like, where's ours?
Good stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff. Well, thank you, Chubsies, and thank you for all your support. And we've had a couple things going on in the community. Sandra, have you been to any events lately that you thought were important that you'd like to mention?
I've been doing a lot of meetings on my end that have been very important, actually. I don't know if you want me to talk about them right now or.
Yeah, if you want to.
There's a huge positive for our city, and I'm glad that the hard work that we put in throughout the years and the investment into the homeless division of our city, finally our numbers in homeless has dropped in our city.
It's
Instead of
amazing
increasing,
for San
23%
Bernardino.
down
Yeah.
from last year point in time count.
And I've seen the difference. Now, I'm the first one to admit that I still see homeless out there,
Yes.
and they're severely like malnourished sometimes, or not enough nice clothes, or too many clothes, or like you can tell that could be some mental illness
Right.
associated too, but is definitely not how like Paris Hill Park was. So like
that
there has
injunction.
definitely been an improvement.
Yes.
I have to say.
Absolutely.
And
big
congratulations to our city and our county and for making these steps. And this is just the beginning.
This
We
is
need
the-
more.
This is the most collaboration we've had in our city. We're bringing back an MOU with Caltrans this next month to the council for a vote. Never had it before, and then prior to that, we have a contract with the county so we can help out at the water channels throughout the whole city to
Cool,
address
because
the
that's one of the
homelessness.
places they go when they're removed from the
Right.
park. Because a lot of people don't understand that there's jurisdictions when it comes to moving the homeless around, and you have to, there's a jurisdiction that the CHP has to do for
Right.
Caltrans. There's a jurisdiction that the sheriff has to do for the county. Then there's a jurisdiction
Yes.
that the San Bernardino PD does for the city,
So
and they all work together.
We're all working as a team. I remember when I first came onto the council, everybody worked in silos, even the nonprofits. We had no idea who was in our city, how many beds they had, and I would like to give myself credit on this because at every regional meeting I was going to in county meetings, I was putting the word out that if they were a nonprofit with shelter beds in our city, to notify our housing division so that we knew how many actual beds were available and for what people we can serve properly.
Okay.
And from that, we had 100 beds that we could account for back in 2019. Now we have almost 900. And that's not including the U.S. Vets projects that just broke ground like a month ago. And then we're also still working on a navigation center. So there's more beds.
This is positive stuff here.
And one more thing. Hold on.
Get to some more. We'll get to some more. Go ahead.
The other thing I've been vocal about is that I've told them at these meetings that homelessness is not just a San Bernardino or Victorville issue. It affects everybody everywhere throughout the whole world.
Yes, it does.
And in an ideal world, you want to be able to have a shelter in every single city or town so that if anybody, maybe they get in a fight with a family member or
Immediately
whatever
they
it
get
is,
helped. Yeah.
and they're not being bounced around from city to city or county to county until they find help. They could just get it right there where they live. So now we have Ontario, Barstow, our city, of course, Fontana, Victorville we know of, and I believe the mountains are building a shelter too.
Cool.
So slowly but surely it's getting there. And I've been strong at saying that at every year, every regional and county meeting that we've had, and on the boards that I sit on, it's like every city if you're here representing your city and you want to address homelessness, why don't we talk about getting your elected officials on board to build a shelter in your cities? So it's
That's a
taking
good.
years.
That's a good approach.
It's
All right,
taking
all right.
years, but we're getting.
So we got. So what positive thing did you do lately in the city? What do you see? What is positive for you lately in the city?
So, Robert, I'm a volunteer, active volunteer throughout the community.
Like We Are the Change, and I mean that's probably how we met, right? Was it We Are the Change? Or?
I think we met at a city council
Was
meeting.
it a kid?
or
Yeah.
through We Are the Change.
Not the
Yes.
SB Food Fest, maybe?
Yeah, like we had a lot of. I mean, like those were fun times, man. You
Yeah,
know,
Robert, and
we
I-
had a lot of tacos and stuff, man, for sure.
Yeah, I think, Robert, you were I saw you multiple times at the SB Food Fest. I sincerely appreciate your support, always showing up, your engagement, what you're doing for the community. Like I was saying, I'm an active volunteer with We Are the Change SB. We recently just completed a cleanup for an elderly lady here in the city. She
Yeah, I
was
saw that online. That was awesome.
Yeah, we trimmed about maybe 20, 30 trees, had about 30 volunteers, and it's just good people with good hearts that want to give back to the community.
Yeah, Luis and Kim. Yeah, there's a big team there that of people that really work hard to. I've never been like a member, but I've always like tried to come around and help a little bit here or there, and I have done a few trash pickups myself. Thank you very much.
Yes, we have.
And Luis has that. Mr. O'Head has that huge dump truck, right? That orange one, and he usually pays to have that dumped out of his own pocket. So, and I got to give him some props.
Yeah, and thank you to all the companies that sponsored or donated to this project. I want to give a special shout out to Jesus Squad.
Okay.
That was the first time we met them. They're here locals in the city, Christian followers. We even had a little 5-year-old, a gal named Sophia. She was out there putting in the work. It's heart-touching to see volunteers, residents in the city that truly care about our city. There's a lot of positivity going on in the city, and we want to continue to do so. This past weekend, in my company, we donated to KKC Little League Dodgers. We gave them some jerseys, baseball bats, with the help of my company and some others, other residents. We gave them baseball bats, baseball, sunglasses, and a bag, and it's
Super cool.
it's awesome. It's good to hear the kids, just very surprised,
I
excited.
still remember my T-ball, Del Rosa. I was on the Cubs,
Aw.
and it led to a lifelong love of the Chicago Bears later on. So,
I was into the
'Cause the
Anaheim
Cub grew
Angels.
up.
As an Orange County girl, I was into the Angels.
Angels, okay. All right. What's your team, Eric?
Angels, baby, let's go. I was there Friday and
JT
Saturday.
Snow,
And your team?
left-handed pitcher.
I'm more a soccer fan, but I would say Dodgers.
What's your soccer team?
Dodgers is good.
I like the national team, Mexico and the U.S. So
Okay, all right.
both teams.
I like them all, especially Germany, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Mexico, the U.S. They're all great teams that we have playing soccer.
Yeah, and it
Well,
like
I
brings
love
the
World
whole
Cup.
world together in a
It
special
does.
type of cultural way and a sports way, right? And a little bit of competition in there too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and World Cup is right
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, and once your team's out, then you have to root for another team. So like, unless your team makes it all the way. but that's that camaraderie is something that we get a tiny bit with the Super Bowl and the playoffs or the World Series a little bit, but it's nothing like soccer. There's just nothing like football. Yes. I would like to have my own little positive thing that I saw happen in our community. San Manuel purchased the Mission Inn, or they're in
Oh,
the
really?
process
Riverside?
of buying it or working on it or whatever it is, they're going to buy it. So I think that's awesome for them to have another historic building, including the great Arrowhead Springs Hotel, and I think there's a. I'm not sure if the other buildings they own are historic, but there is a few other places that they own, and they might be. So that's just an interesting angle to go by, and it's something that I'm so happy about because I can't think of a better steward of our history than San Manuel.
Exactly.
They're never ever. The Yahaviatam are never leaving. They're gonna be here forever. They've been here forever, right? So they will ensure that the history it keeps going, and hopefully, if it's positive and good history, right, they'll keep it going forever.
Yes.
If it was negative history that needs to be changed, they'll change it as well. So that's how we're.
Hey, there was no rain this year at the fair.
Yeah, I did notice that, but I tell everybody, next year someone will remember that it rained at the Orange Show, no matter what, no matter how many times you tell somebody it rained. So it's about 85%, Sandra, and they actually calculate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not all the time, and
I thought it was a joke when I first moved out here,
Well,
but
I mean,
no. Almost every
someone
year.
did a calculation, and if you take 5 days out of the year, and you're already getting a large number, right? Possibilities for rain, right? And you do it during a certain time of year. Well, so and back in the day, it used to rain a lot more in San Bernardino, and we had a lot of water.
I'm just glad for the break in the heat this week.
Oh yes, that is awesome too.
It's like 7 or 8 months out of the whole year that we're hitting 100-degree weather.
Yeah, and right now is this weird transition where you don't know put away your sweater or get it out. Or I think I put away my big jacket 3 times. Man.
I had to put on the sweater right now before getting here because it was cold.
I mean, I tried to put on my palm trees and progress socks, but there's a hole in them. So I'm man. They walk on their own now. So.
Oh, that's good.
Get you some new ones.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, but
Gotta move along.
I wore them out. He gave me them for a Christmas present.
They're movers.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Ivan. Where are you from? How old are you? Why
you been in the city?
Why'd you want to run for mayor of this city? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Ivan Garcia. I'm a born resident. I was born in '87. Moved back to the city in 2018. My businesses are here in the city.
What are your businesses?
I'm a general contractor. I'm a property manager, and I've been involved in the city since 2018.
So what do you build?
We work on residential, commercial building structures, renovations, improvements, alterations, things of that nature. My dad's a retired roofer, so I was exposed at a very young age, 8 years old, getting on roofs and just being around the whole construction site. I attended Cal Poly Pomona. I graduated, go Broncos, CPP.
Right on.
Graduated 2011. I have a degree in construction engineering technology. I love it. I was very involved, and now I'm back in the city and just doing as much as I can for the city.
And I bet you're walking around a lot lately too, huh?
I have. I've been hitting up different markets, walking out late at night, meeting a lot of residents, and
I told him to be careful at nighttime.
What do you talk to a resident about?
so when I knock on the door, I introduce myself and I really ask questions like what their concerns are for the city, what they would like to see changed. A lot of input or feedback that I'm getting is people aren't happy with our streets, our street lighting, downtown, overgrown trees, uplifted sidewalks. Younger, different age groups, younger kids or people in their early 20s feel like they're not being heard, and it's great because I get to hear the people's concerns, and people also tell me that some of their issues or complaints, if they submit, they never get resolved or it takes too long.
So this sounds exactly like every single election that I've ever been a part of for the last 12, 14 years. Same thing, the same complaints. It never ends. The people always have the squeaky wheel, but they don't participate in the cleaning up and going to the meetings. Not everybody, but a majority, because they're families. And they got to go to work, and they got to take care of their kids and make sure they get to work. And then maybe they're taking care of their mama, and they just don't have time. But they also don't always have time to look at all the correct information always, right? So when the improvements do see, they don't see it as much, but always on the tip of the tongue, they have the squeaky wheel stuff, right? And those are commonly cleanup, safety, homelessness, right? It's over and over and over. I try to do this technique now. It's a little technique for you all. So like when I approach them at a let's drop in the beginning, I ask for a positive thing. I go, what do you like about San Bernardino?
They have to like something if they're here,
so
right?
they're not automatically
I know,
on
I
that
did.
negative, because dude, you'll get tired of hearing it.
Correct.
Yeah, because you can't solve that. You can't fix homeless. She can't fix homelessness. No one can fix homelessness because it's been around forever. We can help it. And we can help the people slowly, one at a time, find their way. And then eventually, some people get off, some people go back, right? But you can never fix it all, right? But you can be a part of the solution, right?
Correct. And Robert, you're absolutely correct. We hear multiple complaints, but when I'm knocking on doors, I tell people, hey, this is all a team effort. It's a community. We have to work together. We have to submit, be willing to donate our time and report issues. And attend
Really
city
report
councils.
it.
Yeah.
Really report it. Not like, I complained on Facebook that there's a pothole. Like, no, you really got to call it in and make a CRM report, right? And then it still may not get done right away. They'll do what they can. They might close it and you might have to reopen it again. There's procedures that you can do to get things fixed. And I have gotten potholes fixed, me personally, so I know that can happen. And you could get graffiti removed and what's a street light that's broken, right? Or which is hard because people keep stealing all our copper.
And I'll tell you, as an elected official myself, I get just as frustrated because we're moving so slow. Like I said at the last candidate forum over at Valley College, in an ideal world, I would love to fix every street 1 year, in less than 1 year. But unfortunately, we have to balance our budget. We have to make sure that we allocate money for our parks, for our libraries, for our police, safety.
There's never enough money.
And ever since we lost the property tax, I think that is a huge revenue that the city's missing out on. The whole property tax goes to the county.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I fought hard for Measure S.
I did.
Treasurer didn't even want Measure S, and I fought hard for that. And you know what? The San Bernardino Police Department is doing incredible.
25% decrease in crime in over 20 years.
And I'm not taking credit for that, but I had a little bit of love there. We debated Treasurer and her team on Leticia online for that.
I was against the Measure S because I know how much our residents are suffering financially.
So was Damon Alexander.
Yes.
But I fought for it. The reason being because I knew that we needed that extra money because it's really hard to get extra money. I also fought for cannabis.
I remember.
You never agreed with me on cannabis very much because it was illegal at the time. Sandra is not a drug user at all.
I'm not a drug user, but I did go to those council meetings and said, "This is a plant, you guys."
She has common sense, but she's never. You don't use it, but you have common sense with it, and that's all I've ever asked my elected politicians. And guess what? We get money from cannabis now, right? Did we actually receive something from the state yet, or I thought the money? Someone told me the money did come in.
I don't know, but I was asking. I think we got about $5 million.
Yeah, so
the taxing from the cannabis.
There is something going to come in eventually, right?
Yeah.
Because the state has to pay us. They're not going to hold that. They just got to figure out how to do all that stuff if they haven't yet already. So, but this money was just going into the gray area, right? The gray market, wherever it is, right? So why not, utilize it and put it in the streets, right? Right. So rather than have my friends of color mostly go to jail for a plant. Now they don't go to jail, and we get tax dollars on it, and the gangster doesn't get the tax dollars, right? And then, granted, they were probably spending in the community, right? But not on the streets, right?
Yes.
So we want to spend money on the streets,
and just so that
get our clean streets and paved streets, right?
And so that everybody knows how this works with the fixing of the streets. It's not just one ward getting streets fixed. It's every single ward getting the same amount of streets fixed every single year. That's how it's always been. And I know some of my constituents say, you don't do anything. I was like, why? Because you're not posting on social media. I was like, I did in the past. There's some. If you look at my history of what I've posted.
Yeah, social media is hard, yes, because,
People only want to read what they want to read, and they only want to see and hear what they want,
Yeah, and social media is a double-edged sword. We had we were all the rules for social media were just presented to us as commission members, right? So they laid out what we can do, what we can say, and it's good for us to encourage debate, I guess, on there. And I didn't know that, right? And we actually can't break the Brown Act unless we have 5 members, right? So it's a little
Well, it just depends on the size of the body.
Yeah, so the
governing
city
body.
council body is 3, right? But for the size of our commissions, it's 5. So we used to think it was 3, and we found it's 5 now. So like, we can do a little more talking and stuff like that, but we're just in advisory role. So, Sandra takes what the information, and the council takes the information and decides, okay, well, this is their advice. Let's see if this is what's good. And I'm lobbying for some money for the arts, and we can use.
We've given money to the arts.
Need some-
And that's why I'm saying it's when we have all this revenue that the city does get, we have to allocate it throughout all the different departments, all the different events that we're hosting throughout the city. So it's just one of those things. We can't put all our money into one basket. We got to put it in every different basket out there.
So if you had a basket full of city dollars, and you had a team with you, and you were mayor, how would you want to spend that money? What would be the most important place to put resources in our city?
So Robert, the experience that I bring with money or budgets is my construction experience and my 2 businesses that I have as a general contractor.
You mean you have to balance a budget?
Absolutely. A business.
Why do you have to balance a budget?
Well, a business, at the end of the day, you can't go over budget, right? Because then you're going to go belly up, and you have to have a business plan for whatever you do. So as a mayor, for budgets, we got to figure out where we can reduce costs and find out what's damaging our budget, right? So you really have to dig in to what your budget is, how you can allocate or how you can fund different departments. So as a mayor, I would closely work with all the teams and go back. I know we just recently had our budget workshop, but every person, director, and department should be looking for ways to reduce costs. Like me, for example, I've said it publicly. I'm willing to donate 1 year worth of my salary as a mayor if I'm elected as mayor, because I truly care about the city. So again, my experience managing budget, schedules, and people, that's something that I would bring to the table, and I've had to do that. I'll give you a perfect example. I worked on a project at Lawndale High School. It was a $30 million project. We had budgeted $30 million. Along with my team, we had to write scope of works for 15 different trades. When we got numbers, we put this project out to bid, the end number was 27 million. And that's very satisfying. That amount, the 27 million, when we received those budgets or those bids, also included a contingency. And what is contingency? Any unforeseen, any design errors, anything that possibly can delay or add cost to the project. So that's kind of my experience that I would bring related
Preventing
to budget.
change orders, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
always been the big thing.
Yeah, change orders ruin it because you get these companies that will low bid.
Right.
Low bid. Then they're like, this change order to happen to even finish the job.
More money,
yeah. So you got to watch all that stuff. So it's good to be a business owner and be mayor if that possibly happens, because you have some experience with that, is what you're saying. So you want to take the experience of being a business owner and a local into being San Marino's mayor. What do you feel like is most important for you to do to earn the right to become mayor?
Yeah, so again, using my experience that I've had in the past, I worked even for CDCR, doing construction projects within prisons. So we had a project that was $330 million. And as part of that project, we had partnership, collaboration, and facilitation meetings. So where we would have every subcontractor, every stakeholder on that project come to a table, come to a room. We had probably about 60 to 100 individuals, and we all had to meet the common goal and work together and stay on budget. So that's something that I would bring, because I've worked with designers, engineers, stakeholders, end users, counties, jurisdictions, cities, permit technicians, different engineers. So my experience would be to work as a team, collaborate together, ask the question, when we would have these meetings, we would write down on a piece of paper. We had poster boards, and you would write down what your goals are. If you have any, if you need any resources or tools to be successful, I think that's what our city really needs. We need to go to every department, even residents, our city staff, and ask the question: what resources, tools do you need to be successful? And I think we can work as a team and really turn the city around. And since I've been here since 2018, we've had a lot of improvement. And Mr. Porter, I really sincerely appreciate all your positivity and everything that you do for our city.
Well, man, that's just because I love it so much, and I want to see it do good, and I want to see our people happy with what we have here. If you were going to have the money to focus on something, what would be something you would like to focus on to make San Bernardino better?
So my top goals is obviously always public safety, right? Everybody needs to be safe in our city. So the other goal that I have is, as a visionary, is bring life to our downtown. A lot of people have, complaint. I've heard even when knocking on doors that they have to go to Redlands, Riverside, Rancho, other cities to go to a sit-down restaurant. Although there are a lot of family mama and pops restaurants here in the city that are very delicious, but they want to see more life in downtown. Okay. One of my visions is to bring a restaurant that is appealing. One thing that I had in mind is a Portal's Bakery.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Listen, sir, I had that idea too.
Yeah, yummy.
So everybody loves Portals. Or a lot of.
So I have this will be your
Portal has a market analysis.
This will be
sir.
your
You still
hardest
don't fit
question
it.
for both of y'all. It's obvious that gas prices have gone up, right?
Yeah.
So for our city workers to run their equipment or to move their vehicles, it costs gas money. It costs money. It costs more money now, right? So you allocate a certain amount of money per year based off what you're hoping will be the highest that the gas will achieve. And I am sure that number is not right now, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to end up having to pay more money for gas, and you cannot move anything in our city without fuel, right? So what would you cut when your budget, if you had to cut right now for use of more fuel costs?
So one thing that I would do is, obviously we have different departments, right? We have public works, engineering. Try to schedule your day to visit different locations instead of visiting just one location at a time. Open a map, look at the ward map. If there's 3 items that need to be completed in ward, let's say number 7, you hit those all in one day to try to save your funds, save your budget.
So you're talking efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency. Okay. Also, I'm not sure, maybe Sandra can help me with this one, if our city has any EV vehicles available. I know we've been building a lot of EV parking lots, but
and they got solar on the parks and rec building there, right? So what do you think, Sandra?
Listen, I'm the one that was the first council person who proposed solar power lights along East Street.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, it took staff 2
got
years.
some lights there, yes.
It took staff 2 or 3 years to finally go with it.
But that wasn't
that was
staff's
a
totally
$500,000
fault.
savings.
It was because everybody in the whole United States is having their copper stolen in their cities.
And that's been the issue throughout the years in our city, and that's an idea I had proposed to them. And like I said, it took city staff finally 2 to 3 years to consider purchasing solar
And
power
now
lights.
they're up there.
They're up there. They saved the city $500,000 by going solar. And I think the city will benefit a lot from solar power lights everywhere, even at the parks.
Okay, good answer. Okay, so Sandra, when they were going to take our shelter and
Our animal shelter,
and,
right?
and give it to Riverside County, which doesn't even make any sense now at all.
I think they closed their doors.
It's kind of weird, but like what do you say for the animals now? Like, how do you feel the state of our animals? And as a candidate, how do you want to help the animals in the future?
Well, I think we've come a long way. We've had several partnerships with with San Manuel, we have nonprofits over at the animal shelter helping with the spay, neutering, microchipping, the vaccines to our pets that we adopt from the animal shelter. That's something that we didn't have before. As you mentioned, we were about to outsource it to Riverside County, and I was that one council member that kept trying to bring it back to the agenda every single meeting, like bring it back. We need to discuss it. We need to address this. And now we also have partnerships with some local jurisdictions that were formerly with Riverside County. And I went to the animal shelter not too long ago, and they finally put up all the kennels that people were wondering, like, where are these kennels? I personally love the kennels, but then when I met with Jasmine, the director of animal control, she pointed out some flaws in those kennels already. Like, I know nothing is perfect, but it's a start.
Animal team, you know, don't forget Sandra did fight for those things back in the day. Like
I did.
there's never enough resources to help our animals.
We had
And
our
I
police
wish
department
yeah,
managing it back then.
Yeah, like that's the kind of like the worst case scenario where you have to have your police department run an organization like the animal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the best place to have the position of animals, right? Like under the police, but like maybe for the canines, right? Yeah, but like the rest, like they really need their own help, and like
But
I
want
turtles
voters-
and everything in there, right?
I want our voters to just remember, at one point, the city was considering outsourcing our animal shelter to Riverside County, which meant they had to drive to Riverside County to pick up their pets that were found. That's a huge disservice to our community. A lot of our residents are on fixed income, low income, no vehicles. So for them to
It
go to a
would
different
it
county.
would have been there if Sandra didn't step up. So thank you for that, Sandra.
I
And
tried. I went
it-
against the tide, and then the tide went my way. So we ended up working on it all together.
because you
know.
do need 5 votes or the mayor's
Right.
to get something passed.
And that's why I told my opponents at the candidate forum is like, you can promise and say anything that the voters want to hear, but at the end of the day, if you cannot collaborate and work together on those solutions with your colleagues at the dais, nothing's going to get done. You have to be able to build a consensus amongst each other and make sure that you have at least the super majority to support what you're trying to do for the city. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you're going to
I've
be like
walked-
me
I've had-
every meeting.
Yes,
Animal
I've
control.
had candidates at this table or at the other stations who have had very wonderful ideas. But once they got on the council, like I'm not going to mention any, but they couldn't get anything done.
But
Because they couldn't get the votes, only for like unanimous things, right?
Right.
That's all they could get, or a commissioner, right? But they couldn't get their signature things done. So that's the key, I think, compromise and be able to work with others.
Right. And, that's one of the things that I'm the kind of council person that if my colleague, there's a project in their ward and they're fully supportive of that item or whatever it is that they want to bring back to council, I will support them. As long as I know that it's for the good of all, I will support them. And that's just my record. No matter what people say that I'm a puppet, it's like I'm nobody's puppet. I'm just, I read what staff presents to me. I listen to the constituents and any other questions that we ask in public based on all that information that I'm able to gather. That's how I vote. People don't see it that way. They're stuck in a mentality that I'm part of the left side, or no, I'm part of the city. I'm helping the whole city.
And you have to have a coalition to get anything passed, and you have to compromise within those things. That's how government works, team. And the best types of law are made with compromise. Otherwise, the next team gets in there and changes it automatically. Mm-hmm. So if you make something that everyone uses and is useful, then that's good government. And also being conservative with the money, right?
Right.
So I'm going to get to.
I just want to tell Ivan, if when you get to become a mayor, just know that we make the decisions, Mayor, and the mayor builds a consensus with us. If there's something you want proposed for the city, make sure that you can build that consensus with us instead of going against the grains.
Yeah, because that's hard to get votes once. Yeah,
And you know, and don't take credit for what the council has done. I've seen some posts saying, "Oh, you know, under my leadership we did." And like, no, that was the city council. We voted.
It's just like my commission. Like, I'm not supposed to take credit or speak for everybody or anything like that, right? My job is to speak for me,
right.
as my position, right? So, you are a busy man. Like, how are you going to have time to run the city if you're a business owner? So, how are you going to have your team?
He's gonna hire you, Robert.
Are you going to send me out there? Jackhammer?
Yeah, I'm gonna hire Robert Porter to help me out.
I'm working on my roof right now.
Prevailing wages to Robert.
I'm bringing you up there, throwing you on top. You can help cap it, man.
No, I understand the mayor role's a full-time position, but I'll have to hire a team. Obviously, I'll be spending less time as an owner on my company. Obviously, I'll have to hire more people.
But it's totally possible to be a business owner and a mayor. It just as it is possible to be a mother and a mayor, right? And totally acceptable and totally cool. I thought that was really cool for San Bernardino, right? That shows all the women out there that you can be a mother, you can be pregnant, and you can still run for
still lead
office
a
and
city.
still do it. That is awesomeness, and I give awesomeness that.
And that's one of the things I've told you before. That's one of the things that I do appreciate from our current mayor. That she's our cheerleader. We get so many negative comments thrown at us at those
And
meetings.
I don't want her to take that as a negative. That is so positive.
No, we need it.
Yeah,
There's so much negativity.
That's what I have. Is cheerleading for our city, right? I mean, I may not have blonde hair, but I sure do have the heart.
Yes.
Now, some people call this dishwater blonde, but this
But even though
gray right here.
even though she wants to replace me with the former candidate, it's okay. I still love her for the work that she's done. You know.
It's not easy in politics,
But
and
a lot of the accomplishments has to go to the current city council members.
yeah, and also
Cannot say we didn't do our work.
It also you still have to work with everybody after the elections, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes seats change, sometimes they don't, right? And like you got to be careful that you don't create an aura around you like John Valdivia did for himself, right? Where like people realized that he loved himself more than he loved the city. If he would have changed that attitude, he might have had a chance, right? And, he's running for mayor right now, right? He's probably mad that I'm not having him on here. You never come on here again after the last time you came on here, right? No. But I understand why he wants to run because it's that taste, right? You got the taste of power or taste of helping the city, and you think you can do something different or you can bring more business to the city, right? That's what he thinks. Do you think that you could bring more business to our city?
Yeah, one of my goals as mayor is to educate and inform businesses and residents. You'd be surprised a lot of people don't even know about the Go SB City app. They don't know that they can visit our city website and there's workshops, coffee with the cop, different commissions.
Commission
advisories.
meetings, Arts and Historical Preservation Commission meeting on Mondays, the third Monday of every month at 4 o'clock.
Community
You can come.
events.
Yeah,
Park events.
We actually had a full house last time, so I can't be saying anything bad about public because that was the first time we had like a full house of public, and that was so cool.
When we had the fire marshal tell us there's too many people in here.
Well, no. This was at my commission meeting for.
Is it the arts and historical?
Yeah, because of the renaming of Second Lake is a very big deal in our city. Yeah, very, very big, right? So there's two sides to the renaming. One side wants to rename it after a civil rights lawyer, Ignacio.
I was a commissioner with one of the Second family.
And Dave Seckham came
in my
into
days.
our commission meeting, and explained how his grandfather and his uncle, his great uncle or whatever, their vision was to create a reservoir for the water from the 7th Street pump well. And they had they had prison labor dig it out, and But that doesn't mean that he was a racist or anything bad, and that's just how things were done back in those days. And when you are mentioned in a lawsuit, it's automatic.
Negative stigma.
No, it's automatic. The mayor's name is on the lawsuit. So if Ivan Garcia is our mayor and there's a lawsuit, your name will be on there, right? So in 100 years, if people look at that lawsuit and think, oh, whoa, right, you'll be, wait a second, they shouldn't blame you for it. You were just representing the city. So that's what their point of view is. And so my grand compromise, I talk about compromises, the civil rights park at Seckham Lake. So that's my idea. So like we can still have all the Javier Tom's words and names for things all over the whole thing. We can still talk about Ignacio and the plunge and everything that was there. But also we could talk about what happened with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, all that stuff that we wanted there, right? And I think it really opens up opportunities. So that's my little idea. But be aware. That battle is coming up, team. It is coming up. Okay. Anything you'd like to add, Ivan? How do we find out more about your candidacy and
Yeah, so I'd like to invite the listeners to follow my Instagram. It's Garcia4SB Mayor. I have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a Twitter. My website is Garcia4SBMayor.com. Please check me out. You can see my policies, kind of what we're doing on a daily interactions with businesses, residents, and door knocking, and what's going on during our campaign.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that's awesomeness. That's awesomeness. All right. Well, and Sandra?
He's got more social media than I do. I have a website. No, not a website. I have an email. It's Ibarra, 4 council @gmail.com. Keep it simple. Phone number, if they want to get a hold of me, is 909-601-2191. I do have 2 jobs, so I'm trying to balance them all. And, one main thing I want to tell voters is come out and vote. Find out everything you can about the candidates on the ballots. Just know that I have been a public servant more than anything. And kudos to the smear campaign. That was one of my nice pictures that they put on the flyer. Thank you for the free advertisements. But I will keep fighting for the city. I've always have since before. I wasn't just a complainer back then, but I was a doer also. And that is what's going to make San Bernardino change. You're going to need people who have a heart for the city and are going to do the right thing for the voters and the residents and the businesses in our city. Just get out and vote. I want to encourage everybody to please do not be the 1% that votes and leave at that. Encourage your neighbors, encourage your family and friends to vote, especially for the primary. I once again, I want to win the 50% plus one this election. I'm a small grassroots campaign. I didn't seek much endorsements out there. All my opponents have endorsements left and right, thousands of dollars in their campaigns. I have a smear campaign. They've raised $34,000 against me. And it's ironic that they did that 4 years ago, ethical government. And I still won with only $1,500 spent from my account.
We'll keep it positive, and both of you
I'm
have
here
kept
to work
it positive.
for
Yeah.
I'm here to work for everybody, and like I said, whether you vote or you don't, whether you work, live, it doesn't matter to me your age. It doesn't matter to me your political party. I'm here to represent you and everybody else. So get out and vote. It's very important, and make sure you do get the facts. They say I haven't fixed streets. I think Ivan's block got fixed. He never asked for his street to get fixed, but it was one of the bad streets in the whole city. 40 years of neglect in infrastructure. We're getting streets fixed.
A lot of deferment, yep, and it's happened in every ward and in every single council member's term.
The one that I'm most happy for is the Cross Street Bridge. When I first came on board and I addressed it, staff said that's not city property, and guess who fixed it?
Well,
us, the city. So
out there, team, if you are John Valdivia or candidate running for office, give me a hit up, and maybe we'll get you on the show and bring you on in here, get some time to speak up. I do appreciate everyone who's running for office.
It's not easy.
Even John, even John. Like everybody, I think you should throw your hat in and let the people decide. And if the people want you to be that, they will be that. I want to wish you the best of luck, Ivan
But
Garcia.
do it for the right reasons, not just to.
I appreciate your hard work. And Sandra Barra,
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your hard work. And all I can suggest for you both is to get out there and walk and try to be positive and, put as much grease on the squeaky wheel as you can. And this is Missing It Beyond with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show, and we are.
I'm a man who loves the blues. Day or night, I'm living the blues. Love the music, deep down soul. I'm walking and talking, living the blues. I'm a blues loving man.